that we contribute immensely towards addressing the unacceptable poverty levels in our region through the proper exploitation of our richly endowed mineral resources for the benefit of all.
German government supports NACSA with 17.5 million euros on the implementation of the Propo Growth for Peace Consolidation and the Youth Employment Project.
17.5 million euros, and it's for a project that we implement and support the Feed Salon.
And members of ASA at Commerce expressed concerns over the appointment of Professor Joseph Auna Lawrence Kamara as the acting Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone.
Professor Lawrence Kamara was appointed as acting Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone. We continue in that capacity for 6 months, effective 11th of December 2023 to the 9th of June 2024.
Now for the full news.
Well, in our first story, State House has appointed ABDULAI MASIYAMBAY Bangura Esquire as the Supreme Court for Justice. Now, the former PPRC chairman is now waiting for approval from Parliament before taking oath of office. In our next story, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, has urged the ECOWAS Parliament to formulate robust conclusions aimed at significantly reducing alarming poverty rates attributed to illegal mining within the sub-region. His call to action comes during the opening session of the 5th Legislature Parliamentary Seminar on the theme Illegal Mining and its implications in the ECOWAS region. Salifu Cheno Kamara reports.
The 2-week ECOWAS Parliament Seminar will examine the topic of illegal mining and its far-reaching implications in the region. President Bio highlights illegal mining as a transnational challenge with significant impact on security, socio-economic stability, and the environment across West Africa. He emphasizes the necessity of a coordinated regional approach, indicating the importance of forums like these in fostering collaboration and sharing best practices among ECOWAS member states.
In Sierra Leone, we have witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of illegal mining. Our once pristine landscape has been marred by unregulated mining activities, leading to deforestation, water pollution, and loss of biodiversity. Moreover, illegal mining deprives our government of much-needed revenue and aggravates social tensions within our communities. I challenge you as a parliament to come up with a resounding conclusion that we contribute immensely towards addressing the unacceptable poverty levels in our region through the proper exploitation of our richly endowed mineral resources for the benefit of all. Illegal mining of precious minerals is often accompanied by serious human rights abuses and can have severe environmental impacts.
This is the first ECOWAS Parliament Seminar in 2024, marking the final session of the 5th Legislature. Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, underscores the urgency of addressing security threats and environmental degradation, emphasizing the need for immediate investigation and sustainable solutions.
A careful revision of the numbers available to us provides a compelling need to give attention to the region's mining sector. As an example, nearly 80% of mining in northwest Nigeria is being carried out illegally, which has increased conflict since 2014, spreading across Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi, and Zamfara states. Referring to the contribution of the mining sector to the GDP of some member states, the ECOWAS Vision 2050 document indicates that Ghana benefits — Burkina Faso 10.2%, Cote d'Ivoire 4%, while Nigeria receives only 9%.
Head of Sierra Leone's ECOWAS Parliament delegation, Honorable Veronica Kadisise, shares her expectations for fruitful discussions and collaborative efforts among member states.
I hope that ECOWAS Parliament will be able to introduce regulatory instruments to enforce regulations and build institutional capacity to curtail illegal mining activities and promote responsible mining practices.
President Bio expresses confidence that the seminar's presentations and debates will yield recommendations to expedite the implementation of a regional policy framework aiming to combat illegal mining in West Africa and enhance collaboration for a sustainable mining sector. Additionally, President Bio receives an award of honor for his unwavering support of the ECOWAS Parliament's endeavors in advancing peace and democracy across the West African sub-region. Salifu Nakamara, AYV News.
Well, away from that, following the second day of 3 days test run of the 50 buses and the Public Transport Reform Initiative, which started on the 30th of January 2024 and ends on the 1st of February 2024, Director, Transport, Ministry of Transport and Aviation, Hindulu Shaka, said despite there are alternative routes for poda-podas, kekes and bikes to ply, people are still leaving those routes for the free ride. Now, this is coming from the director, who says it has caused a lot of pressure on them. He said this and more during our Wake Up Salon program while speaking on the challenges within the first 2 days of the test run. Edima Conte has more on the story.
The Wakafine buses are conducting free test runs, offering the public a chance to experience the service at no cost. Following the trial period, commercial operations are scheduled to commence on February 2nd, 2024. It is on this part, the Director, Ministry of Transport and Aviation, Indolo Shaka, have expressed major challenges faced during the first 2 days of the test run.
There are alternative routes to use for the other poda-podas and the kekes to move. So people are leaving that for the free ride. That is the pressure we have right now. And the real test of these buses will come on Friday when people start to pay. It will drop the demand, because yesterday I was at Sani Abacha. We realized that there are a group of people who will just sit in the bus. They go, they come, they go, they come, because it's free. You have all the school children leaving the school buses empty. They jump on this because it's free. People are leaving all other means, even some people who have vehicles, they leave it. They said it's free, but why I forgot to pay? They jump on it. So that demand on the buses, because it's free, it's creating the impression that the buses are not enough. What is happening is, because of the free ride and the demands we see, you have people congregating wherever. And when the bus stops at the bus stop, people rush to get it into it. That is something we are handling now. So there are designated bus stops along the corridor that I have just mentioned to you. And this is the reform we want to bring out all over. These buses are going to move every 10 minutes at bus stops. But because of the free ride, I keep stressing, even when you have like 3 stops to the destination to Lumley, people wait at the last 2 stops. They go into the bus even before it turns to begin the journey back to the CBD. So already the bus is full even before it gets to Lumley.
Following the bus fare of 10 new Leones per trip, Daniel James, Head of Welfare and Compliance, Passengers Welfare, says passengers consider this amount quite expensive.
In fact, yesterday, that one has been the very concern of passengers. I was in public transport coming towards Shell, and those who are working, I think we are passing the information now. I think they came to PMB and they heard about the price. And now they were now walking along the road, all road to Wellington, and they were saying, oh, them boys are 10 years so. Me have to pay 5 million for Calbaton for going at all. So before that boss say, I know it will take me put go. So that was the concern yesterday about the passengers. That 10 years, especially from Calbaton to Central Freetown, for them it is too much.
The Integrated and Resilient Urban Mobility Project aims to improve urban transportation, particularly for Freetown residents, including school children, workers and business people. Edima Conte, AYV News, Freetown.
Now, supporting the Feed Salon initiative and job creation for young people, the National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, has hosted a kick-off workshop on the implementation of the Pro-Poor Growth for Peace, Consolidation and Youth Empowerment project. Now, the 17.5 million euro project, according to the Commissioner of NACSA, Ernest Bemba Domaina, seeks to support agriculture through road infrastructure to keep young people engaged. Ronald Jomovia has more.
The kick-off engagement of the 17.5 million euro Pro-Poor Growth for Peace, Consolidation and Youth Employment project is to facilitate a better understanding of the design program for successful implementation. The Pro-Poor Growth for Peace, Consolidation and Youth Employment project is a successor of the GPC3 program that is already coming to an end. The Pro-Poor Growth for Peace, Consolidation and Youth Employment project, according to Commissioner of the National Commission for Social Action, fits into President Bio Feed Salon and job creation agenda.
17.5 million euros, and it's for a project that we implement and support the Feed Salon. The GPC, what they've been doing, or what we've been doing as NACSA, we've been doing like support or enhancing agriculture. So we do infrastructures in terms of road networks where food are being produced. We do like grain stores for our farmers in those remote or hard to reach communities. So that is what we do. But for this project, it's now part of the youth employment.
But what's the design of the project and its impact on job creation and the Feed Salon agenda? Program Manager of the GPCYE project, Salifu Mansari, explains.
And this one, because of the President's call for youth employment, the donors decided to say, okay, if it's a youth-focused government with this Feed Salon program, the focus on youth is not to give them cash per se. It's to use labor-intensive means where they can have money, and then you empower them through trainings. That's how the program is designed. Probably we might go beyond that, but for now it's just trainings on labor-intensive methods and road construction. So they are short of having jobs subsequently because it's a 4-year program.
The project is being supported by the German government with the primary goal of transforming lives while supporting government's development drive.
I think the German government is very excited. I mean, it is a program that has really been developed based on proposals from the Sierra Leone government and by NACSA and based on lessons learned. So it is really a result of our partnership. So yeah, the BMZ is very happy looking back on a long-lasting, good collaboration together and happy to continue.
The construction of infrastructure such as feeder roads will help increase access to markets while also keeping young people employed, thus enhancing livelihood opportunities. Ronald Jomorovia, AYV News, Freetown.
And now, following the appointment of Professor Joseph Aruna Lawrence Kamara as the acting Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone by the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education on the 11th of December 2023, members of the Academic Staff Association of the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences have in a press release expressed grave concern in the appointment, which they say was done outside the provisions of the Universities Act of 2001. However, the release further applauded the recent appointment of Professor Dr. Mohamed Samai by the University Court to act in the said capacity, a decision that was made pursuant to the Section 9 of the Act, according to the University's Court. My colleague Emmanuel Boa has more on the story.
Almost a week following the Committee of Technical and Higher Education in Parliament's ruling for Professor Joseph Aruna Lawrence Kamara to continue as the acting Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone for a period of 6 months, the University Court on the 25th of January 2024 appointed Dr. Mohamed Samai as the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Principal. The ruling of the committee was to enhance a common ground between the university and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education amidst the controversies between both parties.
The committee carefully listened to you and therefore have come with the ruling that Professor Lawrence Kamara, who was appointed as acting Vice-Chancellor and Principal of University of of Sierra Leone will continue in that capacity for 6 months, effective the 11th of December 2023 to the 9th of June 2024.
The position of the University Court on the matter is for the due processes to be followed as provided in the University Act of 2021, which in Section 9, subsection 1 provides that an acting Vice-Chancellor and Principal shall be appointed by the court from among the constituent colleges, of which Dr. Mohamed Samai was acting as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Commerce. A clause that the Director of Public Relations, Alumni and International Affairs, James Tambalebi, says the university firmly stands on.
Basically, the court is saying that we have our candidates, and that's the candidates provided for by law. That candidate has to be a sitting Deputy Vice-Chancellor. So on 2 arguments. One, even if there is a vacancy as argued by the ministry, it is not the business of the ministry to fill that vacancy. Ministry is not eligible to hold that position because the law is saying that one of the 3 sitting Deputy Vice-Chancellors must act in that capacity while a search committee gets a substantive hold of the position.
In another press release, members of the Academic Staff Association of the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences Commerce have expressed grave concern on the appointment of Professor Lawrence Kamara by the ministry, which they say was done outside the provision of the Universities Act. The Academic Staff Association supported the University Court on the appointment of Professor Dr. Mohamed Samai as the acting Vice-Chancellor and Principal, with emphasis placed on the provisions stipulated in the Universities Act. Nevertheless, it is hoped that both parties put their differences aside on the matter, as both the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and the University of Sierra Leone have a shared vision of regaining the academic excellence of Sierra Leone. Emmanuel Mboa, AYV News, Freetown.
And now in another development, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, through a press release, has informed the public that they have deemed it fit to expedite and dissolve the court of the University of Sierra Leone with immediate effect. Now, this comes after a notice which reads, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education notes with grave concern that with the enactment of the Universities Act of 2001, the court of the University of Sierra Leone failed to appoint the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University as stipulated in Section 9, subsection 1 of the said Act.
All right, more of that will be done in our subsequent news bulletin. Now, in our next story, the Ghana Institute of Management, Science and Technology achieves a significant milestone as it secures accreditation for 3 years from National Council for Technical, Vocational and Other Awards, NCTVA. Now, the recognition grants the institution legal status and eligibility to administer NCTVA exams. Now, the institute is focused on empowering the youth to contribute to meaningfully develop the country. Bintu Kuroma has more.
Education takes diverse forms and is a process of imparting knowledge, skills, and character qualities. And at the Ghana Institute of Management, Science and Technology, a pivotal chapter unfolds with a 3-year accreditation from the National Council for Technical, Vocational and Other Awards, NCTVA. The Ghana Institute is a gender-balanced institute that is established to engage youth in a way to better themselves and the country through education. The accreditation officer, Adama Banista, explains on how the whole accreditation process was conducted and gives assurance to people that the institution is authentic and recognized.
But the institution is a threshold. The institution has been accredited by NCTVA. NCTVA is an examination body in Sierra Leone. And NCTVA has a mandate to accredit institution. So that is why we are here today, because Ghana Institute of Management, Science and Technology has gone through the procedure and they were able to go through the accreditation process, and a team visited them, submitted their report which was in their favor, and also the Committee on Accreditation and Quality Assurance, the internal committee also looked at the report. We reviewed it and it was satisfactory. So it was based on that the institution has been accredited for 3 years. So people, the community, students should not be afraid to attend the institution because it has been granted accreditation. They are at liberty to sit the NCTVA exams. They are legally accredited and recognized by NCTVA.
This accreditation opens new horizons for the Institute, reaffirming its commitment to providing quality education and contributing to the educational landscape. The proprietress of the Bangura Institute, Siepesima, expressed her heartfelt gratitude to God and that she's calling on the government and other NGOs to support her initiative.
So today, if I have to get this accreditation, I will have to appreciate God for his goodness and kindness, and whosoever that want to come in to help me. As you see a woman like this, peaceful Sierra Leone, employed more than 26 staff to make sure that I rescue family homes, to make sure that I rescue the youth of Sierra Leone. I believe if you want to help, if you have the humanitarian feeling to help people, you are highly welcome.
A student of the Institute, Michaela Fofana, encourages her fellow youth to be useful to oneself.
Well, I would like to encourage them. Don't sit out there, even if you are not in the medical field or the nursing field, or say, I'm not a science student. Come on.
To Koroma, AYV News, Free.
Well, as part of its drive to utilize technical vocational education training, which seeks to enhance economic growth, foster innovation, and enable individuals to thrive in an ever-evolving global landscape, TVET Coalition has held a two-day reflection and capacity-building workshop. Now, the seminar, among other things, aims to review the unit's challenges and achievements while discussing this year's plan. Ronald Jomorovia has more on the story.
With a mission to establish a quality technical and vocational education training system which increases awareness and access to training and certification, the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Coalition was established in 2014. Assessing its operations in 2023 and planning for 2024, the unit is holding a seminar to review its challenges and achievements. Chairperson of the TVET Coalition speaks more on the importance of the seminar.
We're here today because we all recognize the profound importance of TVET in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and enabling individuals to thrive in an ever-evolving global landscape. The outcome of this workshop will lay the foundation for our contribution towards sustainable development, prosperity, and inclusivity. The TVET Coalition, which was founded in 2014, is a representation of stakeholders in the TVET space.
The unit is undertaking the task of supervising TVET in school as well as establishing links to ensure the emergence of a modern and relevant national TVET system. Verification officer of NCTVA highlights the significance of TVET to economic growth.
Now the problem is not that there are no jobs, but that most of the youths in this country do not have the requisite skills to be employable. And I believe TVET has a crucial role to play to make sure that these youths have the relevant skills that will give them the employment.
On the part of government, Director of TVET at the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education pointed out some of the strides government is making to improve in TVET.
The NCTVA, as you can see them, their mandate has been so limited by the fact of the act that they are operating under. So because we have seen that one, we have decided to, review the act, and we are almost at the completion of that one. But guess what that revised act will do? That revised act will now ensure that all TVET providers in Sierra Leone are registered with the NCTVA.
Representing GIZ, one of the leading partners of TVET, team lead for GIZ EPP project, speaks on their support to TVET.
Is implementing the fourth phase of the employment promotion program over a period spanning August 2020 to April 2024. The overall objective of the program is to improve the employment and livelihoods opportunity for youth through vocational educational training, TVET, and local business development.
The engagement seeks to garner innovative solutions to improving TVET in the country. Ronald Jomorovia, AYV News, Freetown.
This is Primetime News on AYV TV and radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break. Welcome back. I am Joseph Johnson and this is AYV's Primetime News. Let's take more stories.
Now, government through Lands, Housing and Country Planning Ministry has engaged stakeholders on the review of the Town and Country Planning Act. Now, the Director of Country Planning at the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, Sir Max Kanawa, said the enforcement of the enforcement development are among the other things missing in the Act. Thus, as a reason, they are reviewing it. Here is a story compiled by Mohamed Lamin Bania and read in the studio by Elizabeth Momo.
The one-day consultation process is for stakeholders to review and make input regarding the proposed Town and Country Planning Act. The Act, which was enacted in 1946 and reviewed in 1960, Director of Country Planning at the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, Sir Max Kanawa says, gives mandate to the minister to make informed decisions regarding issues that have to do with planning of the country, but that despite this, there are
so many things missing in this law. One, the enforcement aspect. Our enforcement presently that we are doing in Freetown is being done using the FIA, the Freetown Improvement Act. You know, and all over the country, we also make mention of the Freetown Improvement Act to enforce development. You know, but the Freetown Improvement Act for us is meant only for Freetown. It's not meant for the whole country. You know, that is one of the lapses. But for now, we want to entrench the development control aspect into the law, the general development control aspect into the law, so that it will govern the whole country. It was not.
The Director of Country Planning went on to say aside enforcement, aspect of green spaces and open parks is another thing that is missing in the Act.
If you go all over the country, go to Lumley, go to Tengbe Town, all over Freetown, go to Lumley, go to Tengbe Town, and then go to other areas, you will not see any open space. No football field, no basketball court, no green park for people to go relax and then get fresh air. You know, they are not there. But for now, I think after we shall have reviewed the Act, we will entrench, or when we are reviewing the Act, we entrench in the Act the aspect of open spaces, that it's a matter of must, that these open spaces should be created in these communities within certain distance. They should not go, we should not go beyond certain distance without meeting any open space.
Elizabeth Momo, AYV News, Freetown.
In an effort to strengthen Sierra Leone's health sector, the College of Medicine and partners have engaged medical researchers on advanced maternity care in Sierra Leone. The move by the College of Medicine is to enable researchers to be in a better position to provide adequate data on issues of maternal mortality and prevent deaths of pregnant women. Mohamed Bakar Kamara has more.
Sierra Leone and the vast majority of African countries still lack access to the tools and skills that will help them increase research publication output. Researchers in Sierra Leone and many African countries are still impacted by limited access to local and external funding mechanisms, high cost of publication fees, weak research infrastructure, lack of nurturing and mentoring programs are among the challenges faced by researchers in Sierra Leone. But how will this program enable researchers in the country
understand all of the research that's happening and to promote research, healthcare research, maternal healthcare research amongst everybody, essentially, but to really understand the work that's happening in Sierra Leone and to help to reduce the maternal mortality and morbidity, i.e. for make women they not sick and make them not die.
Promoting and nurturing research for health in Sierra Leone is fundamental for health systems. Strengthen, promoting local and global health securities and well-being of the population. Something the Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Jelikatu Mustafa, alluded to.
We recognize that for sustained progress in maternal health, it requires ongoing commitment and a multifaceted approach. Research plays a pivotal role in this process by providing the evidence that informs all our policies, our strategies, and guidelines. We cannot emphasize enough the role of research in shaping our initiatives aimed at further improving maternal health outcomes in Sierra Leone. It will enable us to understand our own unique challenges faced by our expectant mothers and also the innovative solutions tailored to our local context. When we invest in robust research endeavors, we will empower our healthcare system with the knowledge necessary to implement evidence-based practices, thus ensuring the most impactful and sustainable improvements in maternal health.
The program seeks to enable Sierra Leone researchers to help reduce mortality rates in the country and data that will inform